What's going on, you guys? Slim finally back after a pretty long break with a new video for you guys. You guys already know I've been going to almost every YCS outside of like the foreign YCSs, and honestly felt a little burned out, needed a break. YCS Pasadena was the last event I attended. It was pretty crazy. You guys saw all the deck profiles and coverage that we did. It was the beginning of a Shizu tier element. We got a ban list since then. Mystic Mine is gone, and now we are in pretty much the same format minus a few things here or there. And I've got a real video for you guys today. I'm going to talk about what I personally think are the top 5 meta decks currently in the game. While I have been taking a small breather, I have not stopped playing. I have been paying attention, and I have been keeping tabs on a lot of things. I know Dark World has their new deck. Don't worry, I'm working on getting the cards. You already know. Got to play the deck. Shout out to my brother Johnny. He's already played the deck and already had it at locals, already had success with it. You know, I want to do the same thing. I really want to look into the deck. You guys know how much I love Dark World. Dark World was a real staple on this channel for years, and even though it may not be the best deck, even though it may not be the best format, we're still going to try to find a way to make it work in the format. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to smash that like button if you did, and I'll try to have more consistent content on here. But with that being said, I want to let you guys know that top 5 decks, it's pretty straightforward. I'll be honest, the number 5 and number 4, it was kind of hard to decide. They were kind of interchangeable, but I settled on number 5 being Exo Sister. I know what you guys are thinking. The deck has not performed amazingly. Even last format, even now, it did get a win because obviously it was built to beat tier elements. That's another reason why I have it here on this list. It's a shifter deck. It's a Necro Valley deck. Those 2 cards alone just destroy tier element of Shizu, and if your deck can utilize that, it's insane. I've already heard people talk about using, you know, with DeFi at 3, similar to what Flunderies are going to do. Like, that card is just crazy going first. Necro Valley is insane. Like, having D-Fissure, Necro Valley, like all these anti-tier element cards, you literally are just setting yourself up to win. The deck, pretty strong. Little consistency issues here and there, kind of like every other deck, but again, in the hands of the right pilot, I think it can see a lot of success. Not one of my personal favorites, but I think it's definitely a deck that, you know, if you spend enough time playing it, you know that you're going to go in a tournament against basically all tier and you could win. That's how the YCS was won. His entire bracket in Top Cut was literally all tier elements. It was like a dream come true. And especially now with cards that want to mill, you literally can just set up Valley, you can set up D-Fissure, you can set up Shifter, and their whole strategy just is null and void. So it's pretty crazy. So yeah, I originally was going to have number 4 as number 5, but I decided, you know what, yeah, I'm going to put Exo Sister there, but again, you can interchange these. So I got Exo Sister at number 5. Coming in at number 4, another favorite that I really do like, I've been keeping an eye on this ever since the boy Clifton actually top of this deck, and that is Dragon Link with the Bystials. I really like dragons. I think dragons are one of the most supported archetypes in all of the game, and just the Bystials by themselves are actually crazy. They literally just counter tier elements to the point where they're becoming like the staple in the tier element deck to literally just win the mirror. Like, if you look at all the decks, like, they're all tier element of Shizus and Bystials because the Bystials are just that good, but they really are, like, without a doubt, the best dragon support. It's like actually crazy. You can play cards like Levianeer, cards like Diabolos, you can rip cards out of your opponent's hand, shuffle cards away, and that's just crazy to me. I think that D-Link has always been a deck that just finds a way to adapt, and it continues to do wonders. You can also play cards like Rivalry. Now, granted, I don't know if they would main deck Rivalry. It is decently strong against tier elements. You just have to have it at the right time, but I think it's just, you know, an engine. The dragons by themselves are just insane. I think that, you know, again, the Bystials just added so much, and the fact that in that particular deck, you can max out on the Bystials. You can play all of them. You can literally just get free bodies, and you just end the game really quickly. Again, you take away advantage from your opponent with Levianeer and Diabolos, and you just do crazy things. The Chaos Emperor Dragon, the Pendulum one, the prize card that's no longer a prize card but is a pretty nice secret rare, is actually just insane as well. So I think that deck, I really went back and forth. I was like, Exo Sister's a shifter deck. I can play Necro Valley, but dragons can literally just, you know, just swarm the board, play all the Bystials, and Bystials are like the best anti-tier cards, and I was like, yeah, I had to go with that. But again, you can interchange these two if you want, because when it comes to 5 and 4, it is kind of the harder ones to pick, and, you know, based on performance, we'll see how they continue to do in the format. But based on what I've seen, those are the decks I wanted to choose. I didn't want to pick anything that hasn't received all its support just yet. That's why you don't see anything with like Fenrir or any of those guys. I can't even pronounce them. The ones with the K, Kashitara. I don't even know what they're called, but yeah, those cards. I was gonna put them as an honorable mention, but again, without their full support yet. Once they have it in what is it, Photon Hypernova, I think is when they get it. Then we'll definitely revisit that as a top deck, because I think those cards are crazy. They're an amazing engine, but just something that I would not call a top tier deck right now because they're not really a deck. They're more of an engine. So yeah, that's why Dragon's at number 4. A 3, 2, and 1, I mean, they're really straightforward. Like I said, I'm going to keep this video short and sweet and to the point. At number 3, I put Sprite. Now, it was literally between Sprite and Flu. Like, let's just be honest. It was between those two. And just based on how far Flunder has gotten, how far Sprite has gotten, they have literally been neck and neck. Our YCSs have shown that it's literally been Sprite, Flu, Tier Elements just in this battle of the 3 best decks. And I put Sprite just because they are at a slight disadvantage to decks like Flu. They do get hindered by, you know, of course, the barrier statue. They can lose a lot of advantage when Tier Element of Shizu starts milling out their engine, and it is pretty crazy. But I think they are still one of the best decks. I would not put that deck down and say that that deck isn't worth playing. I think it is still extremely strong. It can still pull out pretty offensive boards. It can still use cards like smashers and stuff like that to get through stuff, and you have many options with the deck. I've seen people combine the Tier Elements with the Sprites. I've seen them combine it with runic cards. I've seen them combine it with just all different kinds of engines, and even Sprite by itself with hand traps, Sprites with Bestial, Sprites with, you know, Shifter in the main deck. Like, I've seen so many different variants. Like the Sprites I played at YCS Pasadena, I got Shiftered. Like literally I got Shiftered game 1, which is usually a side deck thing, but they can actually go as far as playing the hand traps, playing the Bestials, just doing so many things. And again, they still have Toad, they still have their negates, they still have all their plays, they still have Sprint, they still have all these amazing cards at their disposal that I definitely would not get to count them out. Like they really did, you know, even without Ronin Tonin, they haven't needed it to be successful. It's similar to what's happened with the Shizu and Herald going to 1. It hasn't really mattered. Like you just play the 1 copy and you just play. Like they lost nothing else. So I still think Sprite is still one of the best decks, one of the best picks for this format. It really comes down to really these 3 decks in my personal opinion. If you are someone that wants to play the main meta decks, it's come down to these 3, and Sprite is definitely at number 3 in my personal opinion. Again, if you think it's better than Flu, by all means. And when I talk about Flu, which we'll talk about now, because number 2 of course is Flu Undries. This is a deck I've played myself. I've seldomly gone back and forth, played it a little here, played it a little there, but honestly the mirror match is so just unpleasant. It was one of the main reasons why a lot of people don't want to play it. It is one of the most unpleasant mirror matches you'll ever play. It's absolutely crazy. It really comes down to who gets to unexplored wins first, and it's just nuts. But Flu is Flu. It is literally insane. Shout out to my boy Temez. He got 2nd at the YCS with the deck. Like, it can lose to itself, unfortunately. The deck does brick, but again, the deck is just ridiculous. It's one of the best shifter decks. I personally think it's the best shifter deck because you can utilize the cards getting banished, which is just insane. Like, the synergy with that has just always been crazy. The fact that unexplored wins can just clear anything out of the way. The fact that you're playing Statue, you're playing Apex. If you're playing Apex, some lists don't. You're playing M-Pen, which literally says no. You're playing Ryza, which just spins away a problem, and you literally just lock your opponent out. Statue is crazy. Statue with Trap is crazy. Shifter is just insane, and the engine is just extremely strong and extremely consistent when it doesn't break. So I have Flu at number 2. There's not really anything else I could say about it because it's Flu Undries. It's gotten 2nd at multiple YCSs, and it will continue to do well. And maybe it'll eventually get its win. I think the time is going to come there. It's just someone's going to have that run and they're going to win the whole event with it and be pretty crazy. So hashtag bird game. Of course, number 1 is Tier Element of Shizu. Like, what can I say? The deck is crazy. What did they lose? 2 Heralds. Mystic Mine is gone. Yeah, I'll admit, Mystic Mine being gone hurt Flu a little bit, but they got Dimensional Fissure. Like, I didn't even mention that. You have DeFi and Macro at 3. Like, your deck is just insane. You just banish everything that's anti-tier. But outside of that, tier is still insane. If tier goes first, they get all their mills set up. Your DeFi going 2nd and your other cards going 2nd don't matter no more. There's no Mystic Mine. They don't have to play around it no more. They just account for DeFi, Macro if they're going 2nd, and I mean, the deck is just crazy. The deck has always been consistent. The mirror is insane from what I've heard from some of the best players. The mirror is very enjoyable, rewards the skill of players, and it's just one of those decks that will continue to do well. And if you want to do well in this format, you either play the deck or you play a deck that can beat it, or you devise a strategy that actually can go up against these best decks in the format. But of course, Tier Element of Shizu is number 1. It's just going to remain at number 1 until something comes along, which will probably be the Kashikara. I really do not know the name of that. You guys can put that in the comment section. I do not know the name of it, and I'm not going to look it up. So those cards, though, when they get the new support, will be pretty insane. But that's all I got for today, you guys. It feels good to be behind the camera again. Got a whole new setup and everything. Gonna be trying out some stream tests soon and everything. Gonna be trying to get back into the swing of things. I just have a couple videos here for you. Maybe 1 or 2 videos a week. Nothing crazy. This is just a side hobby for me. You guys know this. I work full time and I'm a busy guy, and I do get videos up when I can. But yeah, we're gonna just keep rolling with it in the new format and see how things go. But let me know your guys' thoughts on this list. Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree? Do you think some decks deserve to be on here in the top 5 that I didn't mention? Do you think some decks should be switched in placement? Just let me know in the comment section below. Check out the sponsors down below at Dragonshield and Gem. Really appreciate them. And of course, my TCG player link if you're buying cards. And yeah, smash the like button if you enjoy the video. I'll see you see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.
Thank you all for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and a special thanks to all my patrons. It's because of you, after all these years, I'm still able to make this type of content. Hopefully you guys will check out some of the videos that are suggested here for you, and just remember, you guys, it's not just a game, it's a lifestyle. Thanks for watching.